Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Matt Hall with the Tool Guy Shop. I'm out here doing a road call for a international 4300. It's got the Eaton Hybrid system in it, and we've got an issue where the push button on the shift control module isn't lining up. So I'm going to go through the diagnostic steps just to make sure that everything is kosher and we can get this unit up and running, and so the driver can get out and do what he needs to do. So I'll walk through the steps with you. Alright guys, so first of all we need to make sure that this thing is even acting up. So we're going to turn the key on. Now this shift control module should light up. There's green lights here indicating which selector you put it in. This service light should light up. This light here should light up. It should all do its little thing that it needs to go through in order to know that this thing is even working. Let's get this beeping noise off. If you guys ever encounter this and you don't know how to stop it, it's pretty simple. This panel light, just push this panel light and your message light button at the same time for 7 seconds, and it will actually stop that from beeping. So hold on a second, I'll do that now. Perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just check to make sure there ain't a wiring issue with this. Oh, there we go. Yep. So something ain't right here. And there it goes. So I'll show you. Oh. There we go. It's lit up. So key the engine off, or the key off. Turn it back on. Oh, that ain't good. I'm just reaching up behind it. And that light should go out. Oh, there it goes. So obviously we got a wiring issue. I'll go ahead and pull this module off and we'll take a look at the wiring behind it and see what it looks like. Alright, so in order to pull this module off, it's got two 13mm head bolts here that, just unscrew them and this whole module should come off. Just be careful because the harness isn't really long, so if you yank this module out, damage the wiring, and I suspect that might have already happened before. This particular truck has a computer system mounted up. It's got this nice bracket system to hold it and keep it in place. So this stud isn't normally here. This is just a mounting point for the bracketry for that. So don't pay no attention to this here. It's technically not supposed to be there. But so we'll go ahead and take these off and then pull this module off. All right, so I've got the bolts all taken out, and as I'm about to drop it down, you'll see that that's as far as I'm able to pull that thing out. So make sure you tilt it down a little bit, give it a little twist, and then there you go. You have access to the back. Alright, so now we got this thing off. There's two T20 screws here in these two spots on the module on the right hand side. Once you get those out, it's just kind of pressed together and just kind of pry it apart, and then that way we can take this housing off. And then that's the connector down there that has a 1/4 inch bolt that goes through the connector body. We're gonna pull that out so that way we can get a look at the terminals. Alright, so I got the connector pulled off there. First you want to check inside these terminal ends. You can always take this out by using a little pick and picking these the terminal covers off. You also want to check your wirings, make sure they're not loose. Actually, in this situation, I did find that the can high and can low wires are, they're moving in and out quite a bit. So, when I was grabbing the harness and being able to move it around, that's what's happening. Is can high, can low is losing communication, and it's, obviously the module's not, working properly. So, I actually have a connector body and terminals to repair this. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Now, one thing that I would recommend is pull off one wire at a time and then put it into the new connector body. This is especially important when you're doing like, you know, ECM connectors where you got like 97 pins and 97 wires. You know, it can become a mess real fast. So, you know, doing one wire at a time just kind of protects yourself and eliminates the, oh shit, where the hell did that go? Yeah, it'll prevent that moment. So that's what I'll end up doing. I won't be able to do it on camera because obviously I only got one hand to hold it. So I'll show you guys the what it looks like afterwards. Obviously, pretty self-explanatory. It's going to look just like this, but in this new connector body. Alright, so here we go. We got this terminal taken out. As you can see, this thing is mangled. I mean, it's pretty beat up. And plus, you can look at the wiring here. It looks like someone's been ripping on it with some sort of pliers or something like that. So someone might have done some sort of work before and just ripped this thing right out of the connector. So, you know, the connector clip itself is broken, the terminal is broken. We're going to have to replace this terminal as well as the other terminal, and then we should have good connection. And we should hopefully eliminate this problem. We'll verify that after we get this fixed and repaired. One thing I want to know is when you're replacing terminals like this style here, you know, you want to make sure that you use the proper tools to do that. And you know, by doing that, you want to go with this style of the terminal crimper tools. And the reason why that is when you do the crimp on those terminals. What would I just do with my terminal? Oh, there it is. It'll fold these, it'll fold over these little wings there, and it'll tie them in real nice. And it'll grip the wiring. So this is the old one I just cut off. See, it'll tuck it into the wiring, get a nice tight fit. Otherwise, if you use just regular butt connector wire, you know, crimpers, it won't grab right. You know, you'll have problems. Alright, well, got her put back together. New terminals are in, new connector, everything's nice and tight. So I'm gonna cycle the key and just verify that it is actually lighting up now. There we go. Everything's operating the way it's supposed to. So I'll get her all buttoned back up. I'll take her on the road test just to make sure that nothing else happens. Alright, well, I just came back from the road test. Everything's kosher, everything's good. The shift's good, lights come on, everything does what it needs to be doing. So go ahead and button it up and let the customer ride out with it. And now, what the cause was for this particular issue was someone got in there and started just mangling shit. So when you're dealing with these connectors, don't be trying to rip it out. There's a little tab on the other side that you need to be taken out, that you need to release the terminal first before you pull out the wiring. So I'm going to blame somebody else for this particular issue. Can't blame International, at least not this time. So, alright guys, you have a good one.